Hi, Tanya.
Hey, hi, Virginia.
How are you?
I'm good. I can see only your picture.
Oh, let me turn on the video.
Let's go on live. Love your hair today.
It's it's dirty. Hold on. Wayne's downstairs. He's putting a pizza in the oven.
Okay. Is he going to join us too?
No,
Why not?
no, he's not. I'm just gonna do this and let him go. There you go. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Happy weekend.
Yes, happy long weekend. Does it
Mhm.
feel like a long weekend though?
I woke up this morning and I thought, I'm not sure if I've seen a long weekend so gloomy. They've usually been really great, which is interesting, right? It's
Yes.
almost like the gloom is following us even throughout the Canadian calendar holidays. So we got to remain positive, right?
I guess so, but I guess weather is working for us because we can't do much,
Yeah,
and weather is just helping because you will say, oh, okay, yeah, weather is not nice, so that's okay, that's fine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How you been?
Pretty good. Just busy, trying to keep busy,
You are
cooking,
queen bee.
queen bee, working. Have you been? Did you come to the last one?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come on Fridays. I usually have something going on, so i'm
Yeah.
i'm not able to connect on Fridays,
If
but
you register, you still get the recording.
yes, I do register for it.
Okay, good, good,
Yeah. So
awesome.
I've seen you being so busy doing many things online, and it's tremendously inspiring how quickly you transition from one platform to another platform, and how you embrace that quickly,
I
and it's
know,
just
right? It's
wow.
been it's been crazy. So we try to find out what the needs of the real estate community is, and then what we do is we create the message and the ideas of what to share so that we can empower people to, even if it's just one little idea that they pick up from it. We try to share some really great, they're not really speakers, but they're real estate agents who love to share. So we call them speakers. It's almost like their side hustle. And it's interesting because I've known many of these people over the last 10, 11 years, and I just find they've become more advanced. I thought they were advanced 10 years ago, but they continue advancing even as we move through and post COVID. So I'm excited to see what our industry showcases in the next 30, 60, 90 days. I mean, who knows, right?
You've been such an inspiration to me, and thank you so much for that since I met you. uh, I just had Sam as a mentor when I started my real estate, like back 3.5 years ago, and I still think I'm still baby, in this industry. And when I met you, then I realized how much I don't know, which is I'm so thankful for that, because sometimes we think, okay, we continue to educate ourselves, and you learn from others, and but then when you meet somebody who has tremendous experience and knowledge, and all that, and then you brought into that picture many more others,
Yeah.
and that's just eye opener,
It's
it's
my pleasure. But I feel like I'm learning too every day, even though I'm licensed for 25 years, Tanya. I find I'm learning more now because we're in a new reality. We're in a new norm, especially with the social distancing and self isolation. We are finding ourselves adapting and innovating. And I'm looking at what a lot of the newer realtors and the younger realtors, I call them the professionals of the future. What are they doing to engage themselves in their business? And a lot of them are using the online platforms, whether it's a social media or video or Zoom or Skype or WhatsApp. You look at all of these platforms, and this is the way they've built their business. This is all they've known throughout the years. And people like yourself, myself, Wayne, Sam, Stephanie, Lori, everybody from our office, we come from an era where we like to meet, have coffee, meet at the office. You've dropped into our office a couple of times and we've had a conversation. that's what we like to do, right? But now look at us. We're finding ourselves with a login code every time we have to see each other. And this is the new reality. This is the new norm.
But you know what? It's great because I'm pretty sure that since you are like 25 years in a real estate, I'm newbie in a real estate. But if you look at the generation before you, they were doing a business completely different than
Right.
when you got into the business. And then you learn from them, but you came up with the new stuff and innovative things, and that was new for them, and they were transitioning into those. So now we're in the same situation. We're transitioning now with the new generation, with the new circumstances, adapting and changing. And how great is that? It just makes us all better.
It really is exciting, and in order for us to, we have to look at our business, and if we're going to survive as being realtors in the industry that we're so passionate about, we really have to use this time to decide, do we adapt and innovate, or do we just continue doing what we were doing? Because that is no longer serving us. We have to look at the vision of the next decade. We're in a new decade of all times. COVID happens in this new decade, and we have to learn how to communicate better. And if there's one thing that COVID has really impacted us with, is the opportunity to connect and communicate and have better conversations with people. No different than what we're doing right now. I find the power of Zoom has allowed people to come into this space through the computer screen and speak with people. We in the last say 5 years, when real estate has been really busy, we have found ourselves texting, short texts, short messages, agents and professionals calling offices and leaving messages for return calls, no return calls, emails being sent, no email replies being done, pardon me. So if there's anything that this time has taught us, is how to be better communicators and how to really take the time to learn about each other. And it's been fun getting to know you too. And we both love Sam, right?
Yes, that's something that we have in common. Same office and Sam. Yes. Well, I just have to tell you how impressed I was with the Buzz conference, online Buzz conference. I mean, I really love your Buzz conference. You can see I still keep my desk. It's right beside my desk. I really, and I was really looking forward to a next one in fall, but we'll see how that's going to happen. However, the one that you had online, and it was all Canadian real estate agents and brokers, and then all over a sudden you see somebody from Italy on the conference and somebody from Greece, and I was like, wow, how amazing is this?
Yeah.
How on earth you would be able to meet those people and exchange opinions and get the informations right there,
Yeah.
actual information from that particular moment. And
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
amazing is that? Like,
Yeah, we've had a lot of people from the different countries. I have a lot of connections from when I was traveling to the conferences in the European countries for Remax. So I was able to meet some amazing people. And our industry is so big and so vast globally. But when you think about it, if we compact everybody on the computer screen, it's very small, and we have an opportunity to see each other. So when I host these conferences, I do invite all of my connections and my friends from overseas. I mean, we had people from Spain, from Italy, Portugal, Luxembourg. Alhori was on the Zoom conference from Luxembourg, and Greece. My friends from Keller Williams in Greece, and Dinomachi was also on. It's great to watch them, but it's also it's a time that it's been quite emotional for everyone. So we have to share in their emotions, and I want to know how everybody's doing, because at the same time, it's not only about real estate and business, it's also about life. So it's nice to see how they are adapting to this time in their communities. And there's some sad stories globally everywhere, but by communicating with each other and sharing, and I think we're able to tell each other, you know what, if we stick together, it's going to be okay.
I think that's well, the nature of our job is to be communicator, to help people, and that's what we do in like normal circumstances. That's what we do for our clients. We try to understand their situation, their circumstances, why they're buying house, why they're selling house, to understand emotions behind that, because not every sale or not every buying house is actually a happy experience. Some
Right,
people do that because they have to, not because they want to. So
right.
we're there to lead them through that situation, help them. And now, as a realtor community, thanks to you, we have each other to support each other, to learn from each other. And many people who are like you in a business for many years, been through these situations or
Mm.
crisis similar to this one, not like this one, because as you mentioned on the Buzz conference online, it was like, this is a health crisis, no
Right.
financial crisis, no market crisis. So it's
Yeah.
really learning experience for everybody, and it's so great to see realtors helping each other, being community on its
Yes.
own. And
Yes. You're giving me goosebumps. You're giving me goosebumps.
well, you are such an inspiration, I think, for all of us. And you know how much energy and effort and work you put into all this. And I know that you're not just doing this for realtors. I know that you're doing so much for community, helping others in our community as well. And
Yeah.
it's just, oh, you're such an inspiration. Amazing
Thank
woman.
you. Well, we're each other's mirrors, Tanya. We inspire each other. You inspire me, I inspire you. And if we can help our industry become better, our business has been fantastic over, I'm going to say for sure, since 2017, when we saw the spike in inventory sales and also in prices. Business has been good for real estate. And what happened, in my opinion, is I saw a lot of realtors stop doing the hard work because business came so easy. Properties were listed, they were selling over asking price, they were selling quickly, they were, multiple offers. It was a crazy, crazy time. And, we had a little bit of a dip. Mortgage rates went up a bit and everybody cried. But if you look back to 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I mean, my first house that we bought, our mortgage rate was 14.25%. So to have properties, yes, they're more expensive now, but our interest rates are still quite low. I think the market will pick up. There is good inventory right now. Prices are moderate. We haven't seen a decline in prices. Rates are fantastic. It's going to be a great time to buy, and we'll see, some kind of rebound come probably closer to the fall market. So whoever's doing the work now, whoever's preparing now to better themselves and to better their business strategies are the ones who are going to come out of COVID-19 stronger than ever. There should be no real estate agent who should just be sitting at home and waiting for this to pass. This isn't something that needs to pass. This is something that we need to take advantage of, and we need to work. We need to work it, and we need to work it hard. As I mentioned, this is a health crisis. This is not a financial crisis, although the health crisis now is affecting the economy in every way. We've got businesses closing. I feel for our community businesses. I feel for our children who have all been laid off, and I'm talking about all families in general. But if we stick together and if we work on becoming our better versions, the best versions of ourselves, we stick to supporting our community businesses instead of shopping on Amazon or on Google or on the internet, our community will be okay. We will thrive. But everybody's got to collectively come together with the same mindset, right?
And you make sure you remind us that all the time. Thank you. I think that's really eye opener for all of us. Living in a world when the big corporations are very powerful and doing things on their own way, and realizing how one individual is important now in this situation, and how much we have to help each other. And you
Yeah,
know, as you said, we have to help our community, because that's our community, that's where we live, that's what, when we interfere, that's where our kids grow up. This is very, very important for all of us
yeah.
to go back to those basic things, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. The corporate responsibility is very important. I've seen some real estate agents and strategic partners doing some truly amazing things in their community. But you know, a lot of that too, you know, you'll notice, Tanya, is a lot of that comes from our leaders at Royal LePage. You know, we have the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation. We get great direction from our brokers, from from Sam and Lori and Stephanie. When we have great leadership, especially coming from our corporate brokerage, even from Kevin Summers and his team, we know we have to involve ourselves in some kind of philanthropy initiative, because that's what our company represents, and that foundation is there. So we just take that and we transition, and it's normal to us because we're so used to it. We're so used to doing it all year round. So I'm really happy and pleased and so proud of the work and the communication that has come from Royal LePage head office. I think they've calmed us down and have made us realize that we're all in this together. And when you work for a Canadian company, I think it even is more powerful and it means more. So I think we're both very fortunate, to be at Royal LePage and to really have this brand have our back. Were you here last week when Tim Hudak from Maria was talking about having our back? Well, I think Royal LePage has our back too, and that's why I think we're going to come out of this situation as a very more passionate, more visionary, more hardworking realtor community than ever.
Yeah,
I really, really believe that.
I agree with you. And, I cannot be more proud that I'm a part of the Royal LePage, and looking at from the very beginning when all this happened, how the Royal LePage reacted to everything, how they communicated with us as
Right?
yeah, the like, it's absolutely amazing, and shows you uh, not just corporate responsibility. It shows you that we proudly can say that we are Royal LePage family, because we really, like, I was attending a lot of Zoom calls with our CEO Phil Suffer, and it
Okay.
was just, it's mind boggling how that man, thinking of all real estate people in the Royal LePage, and how much he cares, and
Yeah.
that just goes down to our managers and brokers,
Right.
and it's just amazing. And every email, when you read it, it's not just corporate email, it's an email
Yeah.
you can feel that there is a care
I
behind those
know.
words.
I read one that came from Kevin Summers a couple of weeks ago,
Yes,
and I got very emotional reading it.
I
And it
think we're
just
talking
wasn't.
about the same email now. Yes.
Yeah, I got very emotional reading it, and that was probably the breaking point for me, saying, you know what, I think we're going to be okay. This company has our back.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of calls all the time. I have young agents, experienced agents calling, Virginia, what do we do? Do we park our license? Do we leave? Do we get a new job? Do we get a side hustle? What are you guys doing? We just have to remain positive, and we have to work through this. This is something we have to push through. And one of the reasons why we started having the buzz conferences is to engage people and let people know that it's going to be okay. We're here. Come find some inspiration, come find some education, some tips, some tricks, and see if you can maybe input a strategy or two into your business, and adapt, innovate, and come out stronger than ever, right? And I think the consumer is expecting that from us right now. The consumer is expecting the message to change. The consumer is expecting our roles as real estate professionals in the community to change. I think one thing we have to realize is we have to become better listeners right now, because it is about the consumer, but I think it's about the consumer even more now. We have to be better listeners, and I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.
I agree with you. I'm really optimist in all this situation, especially being in a Royal LePage where we were all from the very beginning building the base of respecting others, and I can see how much we respect each other's at the brokerage itself.
Yeah,
Not mentioning how much we respect our clients, and how we conduct the business, and how professional we all are. And I'm really, really proud to be part of the Royal LePage who has that kind of culture, which is really
yeah,
important. And I think that's going to be even more important after all this is over, because
yeah.
those are values that your clients are looking for
Yeah.
in one
Have
real.
you noticed, I notice it because I pay close attention to it, but you're Serbian, right? I'm Italian, Brazilian, so we understand the culture code, right? I find that in Oakville over the last 25 years, especially our Oakville office is probably one of the most diverse offices. And, we had the luncheon where all the agents from multiple backgrounds brought in their food from their culture. That afternoon we had such a nice time experiencing everybody's cultural dishes, and I think it's important that we respect diversity because it's the fabric of our community, right? We make up the fabric of Oakville, and it's important that we get to know each other and learn how to communicate better with each other, and then it helps us communicate more with different clients from different backgrounds too, because sometimes we find ourselves researching different cultures and how do they communicate, and what's an expectation, and do we shake hands, do we bow, how do we engage and communicate with the consumer. It's up to us as real estate professionals to learn this. So it's nice that we have all these cultures at our office so that we can learn about each other. I think it's really important.
Well, that's so important, because I can tell you, I remember going for one showing with one of our colleagues from the office, and as living in Canada, you just buy coffee on go, and you just carry your Tim Hortons or Starbucks coffee with you, and and we're coming to a showing, and he said to me, "Are you done with your coffee?" And I says, "No, I'm not." He says, "Well, you will have to finish your coffee before we get in, because you're not allowed to get in the coffee. They will be offended." And
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
wow.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's, for me, I wouldn't even think about that detail. But it was
yeah.
eye opener that sometimes where it's completely normal for us, it's absolutely not acceptable for others.
Right.
And I was like, wow, you're absolutely right. Like, I
Yeah,
should not be bringing my coffee into somebody else's house for so
yeah,
many
yeah.
different reasons, not just.
Yes.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. You learn every day something, and that's
It's the little details, right? The little details.
very important. Very
Yeah.
important. Well, I'm so happy that you are so passionate about real estate. So, when you have somebody who is passionate about what they do, then I think they have such a tremendous energy that they send out and impacts everybody in their surroundings. So I know so many times when I'm at the office, you just passing by me in the hallway, it makes a difference.
Oh, that's probably because I'm running.
It always shows that energy, that effort, that importance that you have for every single detail, for every single client, for every single thing that you do. And I really appreciate that, because that's really, really something that we have to learn from, like really paying attention, as you said, listening to everybody, because
Yeah,
that's when you
very
get it
important.
right.
I think by listening, when a lot of people get into the business, they graduate and then right away, it's like, I want to sell $1 million houses. I want to sell condos. I'm going to create a marketing plan. But you really have to pay close attention to the market that you want to address and the market that you want to communicate with. So it is really important to pay attention to the communication and to the details, whether it's in your own little community or on the outskirts of your community. when you pay attention, you learn what your marketing messages are. You learn what to, say to a customer. You learn what marketing initiatives you're going to create. Or, for example, during this whole time during COVID, if agents are paying closer attention on their social media pages and watching clues, maybe they have clients that are struggling with something. Well, if we know they're struggling and if they're part of our social media, then maybe what we can do is we can help them with that struggle, right? We pick up the phone. Listen, I read this. Is there anything I can help you with? Has nothing to do with real estate, but it just has to do with, you paying attention and being observant of your customers and your community and wanting to help. I think if we come from a space of purpose, a space of intention, and a space of assisting people, especially during crisis, people will remember that. And it has nothing to do with real estate. You make it, it's not that you're going to call somebody, hi, it's, Virginia, it's Tanya, are you thinking of selling your house, right? And there have been a few people doing that right now, but it's the wrong time to do that.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I was interacting with one of the listing agents in Mississauga, and I had a client who was interested in his listing. But when I give him a call and I ask him, hey, how are you doing? And how is all, like, we all try to help each other in this situation, hopefully. And so I was trying to get a feedback from him. How is he doing? And how is he, even though I don't know him, this is the first time that I'm talking to him on the phone. But
right.
that's what he said. I guess maybe some people did not transition in all this that fast. So he said to me, well, yeah, I was trying to do door knocking and people don't even want to open the door for me.
Right.
And I said,
right.
well, can you blame them? Like, people are scared. They don't want to meet other people. They don't want to. And it's really a situation when we're all adjusting. And, we're, as individuals, we're all different. So we're all taking the situation differently and digesting it differently. So you're absolutely right. Some people will post that really openly on social media. For some people, you really have to read between the lines to see what's going on in their lives. Some people will be quiet, and even not seeing somebody on a social media who's been active before, it could be sign of that somebody needs help as well. So as you said, if you are listening carefully or keeping an eye on some people, then you can actually find a way to help.
So true. So true, Tanya.
You're so great in doing all this.
I just learn every day. I don't think I'm great. I just, there comes a time when what's really important and what can, be kind of put on the back burner for a bit. But this has been an interesting, unique time in our lives where we really do need to shift and put things into perspective for what's important. And if something no longer serves us, then we need to dissect ourselves from that, because it's no longer purposeful. So, connections are really important right now. Social media is really big, and you have a lot of friends, and there's a lot of noise in there, but we have to find a way to keep what's purposeful in our lives. If it's not, we need to delete it. Period. Yeah. This is a great time to be doing that, and I've done it. I'm not afraid to tell you I've done
it. We saw you in action, that's for sure.
Oh, right. Remember when I was deleting people? Oh my gosh, I think that week I deleted like 3,000 people. Like there's no purpose, and it's it's you grow every 10 years. You find yourself growing and maturing to a whole new level, right?
Yes.
And
I think every life experience teaches something new, and maybe this life experience, for example, we're now trapped in our own houses, and now we're realizing that probably 50% of the stuff that we have in a house we don't even need. So maybe it's a time for us to make that all cleaning, as you said.
Yeah.
You started with cleaning social media and then cleaning the house and decluttering. Decluttering. That's the advice. That's the first advice that we give to our client when they want to sell the house. That's right. We tell them, declutter first, and then we can start.
That's right. Tanya, tell me a bit about Casual Talk Coffee with Tanja. Tell me about that. When did you start that?
So that started 2.5 years ago, almost 3, I think it's going to be now. But it started just in the need of connecting with people, and getting, as you said, we're living in Canada, when you have people from all countries all around the world. And for me, it was really important to connect with them. And I really like to talk, and I really like to listen, and I
Yes.
really like to learn. And exchanging the stories, exchanging the experiences, exchanging the cultural differences, it's a way of learning, and that's how you know your community. So by sitting and having coffee or tea, we would talk about history, about culture, about shopping, about traveling, about real estate in their
Yeah.
own countries, and about real estate in Canada. And that's how we get to know each other better, and that's how we become, you know um, I don't know, better people, better educated. We become friends. We become,
Yeah.
so it's for me, that was a natural way to get into a community, and get to know people that I'm living with.
And it's interesting because I know you used to host them at a cafe, right?
Yes. So we used to have them at the Taste of Colombia cafe.
Yeah. In
Which,
Bronte, right?
yes, yes,
I
yes.
know I drove by there the other day. I'm sorry it's closed for now, but I'm sure they'll open. Are they okay? Are they okay?
Yes, they're doing fine. I'm just gonna have Yuri on one of my Coffee with Tanya Zoom calls soon.
Nice.
And they're preparing a cafe to open. They have to comply with the government
Yeah.
regulations now, so they are working on that, and they're hoping to reopen soon. So we'll see if we're gonna have again coffee there, if it's possibility for that. But for now, I'm just trying to do it online and
Oh,
see
I think it's
how that works.
fantastic that you've transitioned. You've innovated, you've adapted, you've taken it from live to the Zoom. I think that is wonderful. I know Richard Silver, who spoke at 2 weeks ago. He's been doing it. He's a luxury realtor in Toronto for Sotheby's, and he just had like one of the biggest sales in Toronto, over 3 million.
Yes.
And he's been interviewing Sotheby's luxury agents from all over the world. And he's been doing Zooms like we're doing Zoom. And what it's doing is it's connecting him with his realtor community. And he's also learning about the different regions around the globe. So that's been interesting. Instead of calling them and just talking, he's doing these little Zoom chats with all of these professionals. That's been fun to watch. So I love that you're doing this.
It is amazing, because it's not just us learning from each other, it's us sharing with others. And they
Sure.
might benefit from our conversation. You never know,
Yeah.
but you please tell me. I really enjoyed, as I showed my page, I really enjoyed my buzz experience live in Mississauga. But what's going to happen now? I know you're doing buzz online.
Well, we're gonna finish the May dates on Zoom.
Mhm.
We're going to have one final conference with some very powerful people in June. I think the date is going to be June the 18th.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's June the 18th. Let me see my calendar. And then we're going to that one is going to be a 12 till 5 conference, because we're going to end it with a cocktail hour between 4 and 5 on Zoom.
On Zoom.
Everybody's going to get a recipe to make a buzz cocktail. But yeah, it's going to be on the 18th of June. That's going to be the final one. So, well, the final one in May is on the 28th. And then we're going to have one more on June the 18th. And we're going to take the summer off. We're going to relax, enjoy our families. And then September is 8th and 9th is supposed to be the live conference.
Correct.
I don't think that's going to go through. So if it doesn't go through, we are working with our strategic partner to create a real big online conference, 2-day conference for that time. So don't buy your ticket yet, because we are going to have some changes on pricing, because we won't be feeding anybody anymore. There won't be coffee and desserts and wine and cheese and all that stuff. So we're going to be doing a little differently. We're just trying to go through the logistics to make sure we do it properly. But I don't think, Tanja, it's going to be a live conference. I just can't see that. We do have the Queen Bee.
Yes.
That one is set from the Bisha Hotel for the 25th. And so far they say that is a go. But again, that could change too. I'm handcuffed right now. And I know you are registered for that too. So I thank you for your loyalty and your patience. But I'm just waiting to hear back from Bisha. They've been very patient with me as well.
Well, I guess we have to help each other in this situation because not that we want to be here, but when we are here, we just have to do our best to help each other.
Yeah, you're right.
So do you think that you're gonna have the Buzz conference in January like this year, or
well, it all depends on what the federal and the provincial government tell us. It depends on the number of people. The social distancing, I'm sure, is going to be, still in effect. Will we need masks? Will we need gloves? Will we need hand sanitizer? Will we have to stand 6 feet apart from each other? Do I have to make changes to the way we sit, right? Is it, do the chairs have to be, 2 feet apart? Like what's the strategy? So until we know for sure 100%, we're just kind of putting everything on pause right now.
Well, that's good. At least you have a plan.
Yeah, we do have a plan. We do have the plan for sure. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having coffee with me.
Thank you. I enjoyed my coffee. Casual talk coffee with Tanya. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Virginia. So see you at the Buzz.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Have a great day. Have a great long weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.